Shalom.
Shalom.
Giving all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Double honors and blessings to the elders, apostles of Great Millstone that rule impeccably well, that, taught us the truth of the Bible. And Shalom to you, Akim out there, that's pushing his truth and sincerity across the four winds, man. And sincere hopes of being delivered in these last days, which we believe through the spirit that we're currently in. Now, we just want to get into a quick video, with the brother Ratazar. I'm Yakanan, GMS London. And this video goes into, basically, as you can see on the screen, it says America's first Muslims were slaves. All right, and this is on the website, which I believe is called All About America, allaboutAmerica.com. And, it's a good article. Like, we're going to read a few excerpts of the article and then go into the scriptures. But, it's basically, these so-called white people tell a lot of lies on our people, man. Because they try and make it look like when we was in the west coast of Africa, we were swinging from trees. We didn't know how to make food. We didn't know, how to live life. But that was the total opposite, man. As you can see here, that we were even going off in the time of being in West Africa, man. You had a lot of Jake out there that was still, identifying themselves as Muslims. Like you still have them there today doing the same thing. And you would have had some Jake, that probably kept the customs of Israel. You had many different Jakes out there doing various different things, man. And that's ultimately, through the spirit why we got put into captivity, because we were going off, and we lost our way, man. But just to, cut the lies of this so-called white man saying, we were swinging from trees, he cut himself with this article, man. Because this guy was a scholar that they're actually talking about when you actually read through the article. He was a scholar, man. That's
right. As you almost to start off on that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it says that in 1807, a wealthy 37-year-old scholar was captured.
God.
Yeah, well, wealthy.
Yeah. God.
Right, said in West Africa, in what is now Senegal, and transported to United States to be sold into slavery.
God.
That man Omar Ibn Said lived the remainder of his life enslaved in the American South. And his story might have been forgotten if not for the right, so he was able to write.
All right, so he weren't illiterate, he knew how to read and write, man. Yeah. And that was in Arabic, I believe. I think he read in Arabic, is going to say,
Yeah. Written, he left behind, written in Arabic and recently acquired by the Library of Congress. The life of Omar Ibn Said is not only a rare handwritten personal story of an American slave, but it's also one of the first intimate accounts of the early history of Muslims in the United States. Right, it says Ibn Said was among the approximate 1/3 of American slaves who were Muslims. Right, while the exact number of enslaved Muslims is unknown, up to 40% of those who were captured and enslaved came from predominantly Muslim parts of West Africa.
God, and you still have those Muslim parts of South Africa that exist today, man. So you got all these clowns, Minister, Louis Farrakhan, worshipping that guy, what's his name, Elijah Muhammad. That bullshit, man. That's been, going around, man. Our people been going off in that whole Muslim doctrine shit, man.
Yeah, I think it's what North Nigeria, I believe. Yeah. That's if I'm remembering correct, that's the more Muslim part, I believe, of Nigeria.
Yeah, kind.
Right. Says it challenges this notion of this being a Christian nation, says Zahir Ali, an oral historian at the Brooklyn Historical Society and director of the Muslims in Brooklyn project. It opens up to misunderstandings that there were non-Christians present at the founding of this nation, and not only at the founding of this nation, but that helped build this nation. They didn't help build it; they were forced to build it.
They were forced to build it, man, through slavery, through hardcore bondage, man.
Yeah. It says it challenges the idea that this was a quote Christian nation from the beginning. It goes on to say Americans' first Muslims were slaves. The subsequent erasure of the black Muslim identity among the enslaved people in the United States was part of a strategy to strip enslaved Africans of their individual identities and reduce them to chattel both legally and in the public imagination. The black classification was devised to mark enslaved Africans as property So if you were black, you were no longer a human being, said Khaled Beydoun, right? An author and law professor at the University of Arkansas says, if you acknowledge some of these religious identities, then you're in turn acknowledging their humanity.
Right. So also highlighting the fact that, you know, you had the Moors. They identified with the whole Islam thing as well. You know, calling themselves Muslims and that. And they were based, I believe it's in North Africa, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it was, my memory serves me correct, you had some in Spain.
Yeah.
Which call it those regions there as well.
Yeah, so Jake has always been into the whole Muslim thing, man. You know? So, you know, let's go into some scriptures, bro, with the sharp.
Yeah.
You know, we read a few excerpts, but look, Esau cut himself. That's the main thing I wanted to bring out for us. Esau is cutting himself. Look, the guy could read, he could write. You know, he wasn't, you know, an idiot, a retard, swinging from trees in the land of Ham, right? They knew their stuff. They had their own, you know, way of doing things, man. You know, yeah, they were going off, but you had some of them that were still keeping to the customs of Israel, man. But again, we had to go into slavery as a nation, man. You know, because that's how the Lord deals, man. Because we're one people.
Yeah. This is on the point he said Esau cut himself. It says Psalm 64:8 says, so they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away.
God, because when you put so much lies out there, it's hard to keep up with those lies, man. And that's what Esau Edom has actually done. He's put so much lies out there, you're going to end up cutting yourself.
Yeah.
Any normal person, if you lie, you're a chronic liar, then, you know, you're going to end up falling upon your own lies. Oh, shit, I said that 10 years ago. Oh, but I said this 20 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, you can't keep up with the lies, man.
Yeah.
You know, but when the truth, that's why the truth is so important, man.
Truth shall set you free.
The truth shall set you free. Because it gets rid of all the lies, man. And now we're seeing that Esau is a liar and that he's basically, you know, always pointing the finger at you Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man, and making up your history for you. Yeah. But when we return back to the scriptures, we understand and we get the perfect breakdown for who we are as a people and what has happened to us and why we're in the predicament that we're currently in.
That's right.
You know?
That's right. It says Deuteronomy 28:64, and Yahweh shall scatter thee among all people, from one end of the earth even unto the other.
God.
And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone.
God, and that's exactly what, you know, this guy who you see here on the screen was actually doing, man. This Jake right here, man. He was serving other gods. And that was also part of the scattering when we left Jerusalem and we went into the interiors of West Africa, man. That's part of the scattering, man. And then he was worshipping another god. He wasn't worshipping Yahweh Shem Yahushua. He was worshipping Allah, you know. And, you know, some of them guys, you know, they were put on the slave ships. There's even pictures you can see of these guys on the slave ships. They got the beard and that. You know, they got the turbans wrapped around their head. Those are actually photos, man. You know? So, look, man, we know who we are according to the scriptures, man. We're the Israelites that the Bible speak of, man. All right? And that truth is coming out more and more. That's why you're seeing, you know, that Israel is in the spotlight. You know, the whole Hebrew Israelite, you know, movement, if you want to call it that, is in the spotlight, man, because this truth is starting to come out more and more. It's spreading, man, because, you know, the elect are being sealed, man. You know? And Apostle Paul said he believes the elect are already sealed.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. Which makes sense.
For real. This is Deuteronomy 32:15. But Jeshurun waxed fat and kicked. Thou art waxen fat. Thou art grown thick. Thou art covered with fatness. Then he forsook the power which made him, and lightly esteemed the rock of his salvation. They provoked him to jealousy with strange gods. Well, with abominations provoked they him to anger. They sacrificed unto devils, not to the Most High, right? To gods whom they knew not, to new gods that came newly up, whom your fathers feared not. All right? Yeah, yeah. And let me also grab this as well to better expound the point. Right? It says Exodus 20:5. It says, so Jake was doing all of that. They were worshiping all of these other gods. Right? What does it say here? It says, thou shalt, Exodus 20:5, thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, Yahweh, thy power, am a jealous power, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children, unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me. Right? So, Jake was going off. They forsook the Most High. They forsook Yahweh. Right? They started becoming Muslim. Right? So then the Lord was justified in sending them into captivity, man. Right? The Lord was like, look, man, you don't want to follow me? Cool, man. cool. And hey, like you read that America's first Muslims were slaves, man. Okay. So they went and they you know, where was Allah on them slave ships, man?
Yeah, for real.
Right? Hey, we know you might say, well, where was our Lord? Our Lord was the one putting us on them slave ships.
Yeah.
Right, for our transgressions, man.
That's right.
Right? Was that in Amos? When it says, I think it's
what, Amos 3?
Yeah. Yep. Amos 3:2 says, you only have unknown of all the families of the earth. Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquities.
That's right. And what was slavery? It was a punishment, man.
Yeah.
You know, getting put on slave ships, you know, cramped like sardines, you know, vomiting on yourself, having people, you know, shit on you from above, you know, period blood leaking from the thighs of women onto your head. That's slavery, and that's punishment, man. Right? That's not a pleasant situation to be in.
Yeah.
Right? That's punishment for going off. That's punishment for forgetting who your power is. All right, and that's what the Lord is willing to do to His own people. So how much more the people that put them into that situation?
Oh yeah.
You know, that's really what we gotta think. That's the times that we're currently in right now, man. That's why the Lord said, "Wait ye upon me until I rise up to the prey, man." Because this is really about the Lord's revenge, man. Right?
Yeah. This is on that point you just made, brother. It's Jeremiah 49:12. For thus saith Yahweh, behold, they whose judgment was not to drink of the cup have assuredly drunken. And art thou he that shall altogether go unpunished? Thou shalt not go unpunished, but thou shalt surely drink of it. Right? Hey, because, hey, like we were saying there, hey, if the Lord can do that to His own people, humble as such in the way He did by putting it into, into the kind of bondage that Israel was put into.
Yeah.
Right? Hey, look, man, if that can happen to Israel, then, hey, art thou he that shall go unpunished? Nah, you go and pay for that, man.
Yeah.
You go and pay for that, and you know what? Hey, as the apostle said, man, like, how are you going to survive, man?
Yeah, for real. How you going to survive? Hey, Amos 1:11, Baba Shah.
Yeah.
You know, how you actually going to survive that? You know, the kind of bondage, you know, that we going to put on you, man, because as a people, you're weaker than us anyway.
Yeah.
And the Lord ain't going to be with you in that day. He ain't going to give you strength like how He gave us to bear slavery. You know, you're not going to get that same mercy and strength, man. Yeah. So you're going to be completely, you know, through.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's right. It's Amos 1:11 says, therefore thus saith Yahweh, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4 I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword, and did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever.
Yeah, He pursued us with the sword, you know, and you showed us no pity. Old, young, you know, you showed no pity. Pregnant women, you know. There's even accounts of you making furniture out of the skin of Negro slaves, man. You know, doing all kinds of wickedness, scalping them, you know, doing all kinds of stuff, man. So, you know, the Lord ain't going to turn away that wrath, man. You're going to drink of that cup, man. And you're going to drink every last bit. Ain't going to be no drips left, man.
Drink the dregs. And that's why the scriptures ask that question, and art thou he that shall altogether go unpunished? Because here it is, you've done all this wickedness to the children of Israel. And it wasn't Allah. I mean, look, what's our name? Yasha Allah, he's Prince of the Power. Right? But, you know, we drank of that cup of slavery, so you definitely go and drink.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, for real, man. And we still drinking now, man.
Oh, yeah.
You know, on a lower level, we still drinking now. But we coming to the time where, you know, our Lord is coming back to redeem us, man.
Yeah.
You know, so we've nearly finished the cup.
Yeah.
You know, the cup is nearly finished, man. But your one is being filled up right now.
Oh, yeah.
You know, as we go out on the highways and the byways, and you're being ashamed, you know, your shame is being revealed, you're being exposed through the Spirit, your cup is filling up, man.
Yeah.
You know, and man, it's not even going to be a cup, it's going to be a liter, man.
That's right.
It's going to be a large container.
Oh, man.
You know, it's going to be a large container that you're going to have to drink, man, one of them gallons, you know, until you get destroyed completely, man, off of the face of the earth, pursuant to the book of Obadiah, man, you know.
Yeah, hey, let me grab this. Revelation 18:5, son of a pump. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High hath remembered her iniquities.
That's right, man. The Most High remembered your iniquities. Hey, but the iniquities of us is blotted out, man, of the elect. It's going to be blotted out. And that's the mercy from Yahweh Shem Yahushai. But you wasn't given that same mercy for your transgressions to be blotted out. You're going to be held accountable for every single thing that you've done. See, that's the mercy of the Lord that he had on Israel, man. You know, it's namely the elect. You know, because 2/3 of our people, you know, are going to perish, man, on this side. And they're going to come back in the kingdom with their right mind, which is going to be a beautiful thing.
That's right.
You know, but I haven't got nothing else to say, but if you got anything.
Yeah, no, that was all about.
Alright, man, Lord willing, you know, this was edifying, and, you know, all praises be unto Yahweh, Shem Yahushai, Shem Akakodash, and Shalom.
Shalom.